Thank you for watching my video. Today's video is going to be direct and it's a follow-up to my yesterday video calling Lewis Hamilton the greatest athlete ever. And I said I wore a shirt yesterday that says math has no opinion. So that was based purely on numbers and facts. And I want to follow up by saying this. Anyone who believes otherwise, I want you to consider the following. Can you go in a ghetto in England, in the US, in any city, in Asia, in Africa, anywhere on the planet Earth, pick a kid out of the ghetto and say, kid, you will be the next Michael Jordan? Without a doubt, you'll have many that would believe you. No doubt about it. You pick a kid from any ghetto, as I mentioned, and say, kid, you will be the next Serena Williams. And there's no doubt, you'll have way more believers, without a doubt. You could go to any ghetto and pick a black kid and say, kid, you will be the next Tiger Woods, maybe even better than a Tiger Woods. And again, you'll be believed by many, no doubt about it. You can go to any ghetto and pick a black kid and say, kid, you will be the next president of the United States. And there's no doubt people would believe you. A lot more would believe you. You could go to any ghetto, anywhere in the world, and pick a kid and say, kid, you will be the next Ben Carson. For those of you that do not know who Ben Carson is, it's Dr. Ben Carson. I happen to work with Dr. Ben Carson at the Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, the #1 hospital in the world. I was a pre-tax investment advisor for 6 years at Johns Hopkins Medical Center. He was the doctor that successfully separated the twins that were joined by the head. Again, you can go anywhere in any ghetto and pick any kid. Maybe not any kid, but pick a kid and say, kid, you will be the next Ben Carson. And you will have a lot more believers. You go to any ghetto, anywhere, and pick a black kid and say, kid, you will be the next Usain Bolt. You will break the 100-meter record. And there will be way more believers. You can go to any ghetto, anywhere in the world, and pick a kid and say, kid, you will be the #1 actor in the world. The most paid, the highly paid, the most paid actor ever. You can go anywhere, in any continent, in any country, and pick a black kid and say, kid, you will achieve this. And you will be believed by more than if you were to go to any ghetto, you know what's coming, and pick a kid today. Now this is 37 years after 1985, which is the year that Lewis Hamilton was born. 37 years later, year 2022, you can go to any ghetto and pick a black kid and say, kid, you will be the next Formula One champion, and even the parents wouldn't believe you. No one, if any, including the parents, would doubt you. 37 years later. That's how impossible odds Lewis Hamilton has to overcome to become not only the Formula One champion, but the unofficial 8-time Formula One champion. Nobody on planet Earth could sit with logic and prove that you will be believed by duplicating what Lewis Hamilton has achieved. I said before and I said again, the odds of Lewis Hamilton's success will not be duplicated. For sure will not be duplicated in our lifetime. For as long as there's a ghetto, for as long as Formula One is what it is, over 70 years later, Lewis Hamilton is a miracle that cannot be duplicated. He not only became the kid from the ghetto with the least possible odds you can imagine, he became the most successful Formula One driver on planet Earth. That's why I wore the shirt that says math has no opinion.